Hello, today we're going to talk about personality tests, specifically the enneagram. When my friend Tessa was staying with me, she introduced me to the concept of the enneagram, which is basically a personality test that divides you into 9 core types, which are based on your basic fear and your basic desire, and a bunch of other things as well. But that's kind of the premise. I'm a type 9, and I think that's really interesting. I thought I'd tell you a bit about my type, what I'm like, might give you some insight into my character. So my base desire is to keep the peace. I'm a peacemaker. I like it when there is no conflict. I fear conflict. When there's tension or arguments, it makes me super, super anxious. I hate it. I hate having to address a problem or confront someone. Obviously, all the weaknesses here I'm actively trying to work on. This is just how I, on a really low animal level, how I react to stuff. According to Enneagram Institute, I am accepting, empathetic, trusting, I see the best in others, and I'm optimistic. In terms of my general personality, I'm very empathetic. That's part of the negotiator side of me. I can usually see all sides of an argument. I'm very trusting, which can be a big weakness. But in general, I'm very good at putting myself in other people's shoes and seeing where they're coming from, even if I don't agree with them. I tend to see the best in others, and I'm very optimistic. Like, weirdly optimistic. I feel like I don't choose it. I'm just very glass half full. I appear quite stable. Anyone who hangs out with me will know that when I talk about my problems, I talk about them, but I don't show emotion when I talk about them. It's very factual. It's very like, okay, this is the situation right now. However, that leads to many problems. Specifically, I'm still feeling all those emotions, but generally I suppress my anger and I suppress my sadness. That comes very naturally to me, and I'm trying so hard to combat it, because obviously if you suppress your anger, if you suppress your sadness, that leads to more problems later down the line. You're not dealing with it. You tend to just avoid the issue as opposed to confronting it head on. There's a warning paragraph on the Type 9 on Enneagram Institute which says addiction in big letters, because obviously when you don't deal with your issues, they can manifest in other ways, such as alcohol dependency and drug abuse and eating disorders and trichotillomania, or kind of compulsive impulse disorders. So yeah, you got to deal with the things, gang. Because of the empathy thing, Type 9s tend to relate to every single number on the Enneagram in some way or another, so they can find it hard to identify themselves. And apparently they're often misjudged as a 2, which is like the helper and the person who wants to look after and nurture a lot. But I really didn't see myself in that one at all. However, a good way of identifying a 9 is that they really don't identify with the 8 type. And the 8 type is one that I just have real trouble empathizing with in terms of their motives. But even then, I do my best. I'm always quite happy to go along with what everyone else wants. I'm very happy to be flexible and to compromise. And sometimes that can be bad, because when there's something that is actually important, I generally don't stand up for myself enough, or I don't fight my point of view enough. But I mean, I will always be happy to see whatever film you want to see, unless it's something I really hate. Or it's like assertive verging on passive, and I'm really trying to push being assertive. If we're looking at wings, which is another part of the Enneagram, I don't quite understand, but each number has a wing, one way or the other. I'm a 9 wing 1, which is the same as Obama. I don't really know what else that entails, but I just read the description and was like, yeah, that sounds more like me. Another weakness of 9s is that they really don't like demands being put on them. They prefer, there's a definite thing about the way you phrase how you tell me you want me to do something, because if it's phrased like a demand, I will avoid it. I am such an avoider, and that's a constant battle with me, is like being an adult, paying my bills and doing all the organizing I need to do, and all the errands, but having this real desire, like an intense avoidance desire, because those demands are being placed on me in such a formal, you have to do this kind of way. I'm also a huge procrastinator. I know it's a problem. I think most people are, but also like, yeah, apparently that's a 9 thing, so I'll take it. And online it says that in unhealth or unhealthy states of mind, 9s can be forgetful, obsessive, and needy. Yeah, I'm very, very, very forgetful. And I don't know if that's a 9 thing or if that's just me, but I am so forgetful. Obsessive, maybe not so much. I beat myself up a lot, but I wouldn't say I'm obsessive. Needy, yeah, I get needy. Which is really weird, because naturally I'm not needy at all. And as it says at the Type 9, is like really independent and generally doesn't seek support. And so that's another reason why they usually struggle with suppressing their anger and their sadness, is because they don't want the help necessarily. They don't want to burden other people. They want everything to be fine and dandy and smooth. But again, I'm learning how to depend on people. I'm learning how to share more. So I'm like working on all of this stuff, and I hope that I'll get to a point where these can be my natural like ways of being, but I'm learning active ways to deal with them. So yeah, that's my little situation on the Enneagram scale. Let me know what type you are. I'm really happy with being a 9. I think it's funny as well because you'll hear this about me and then be like, oh, but online she's really emotional and says loads of stuff. And someone messaged me the other day and said I'm having a constant life crisis. And like, yeah, to some extent. But I see this as kind of a safer space for me to get it all out. I see this as a way of channeling it so I don't burden other people. I think that's maybe a better way of putting it. So yeah, you kind of see the turmoil that goes under like the really glossy like exterior. Okay, thank you for watching. Let me know what type you are in the comments because I'm really curious. I wonder if my audience are similar to me in that we're the same type, or if we're just similar in terms of our interests and our music taste and our humor. You know, like I want to know that. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.